Hola, hola, hola. Oh, man. That's Mazateco you're listening to. The Mazateco sacred song. Mazateco is one of the indigenous languages in Oaxaca, Mexico. And this is one of the songs that's used in sacred ceremony with Los Hongos. Hello, this is Ayana Mojica, Wisdom Medicine Woman. I'm going to be sharing with you in this video a little bit of my experience with my recent journey to Huautla de Jimenez, Oaxaca, Mexico, to experience by invitation Los Niños, the holy children, the sacred mushrooms. I was invited to come by the daughter, Doña Jasmin, who is the youngest daughter of Abuela Julieta, who continues to be always one of the Mazateco elder and Curandera's 13 indigenous grandmothers of that area who carried his lineage, powerful lineage of healing with the sacred mushrooms, Los Niños, the holy ones. I want to read to you a couple of excerpts from my journey because I wanted to make sure I give this to you that it's captured and is fresh. How many of you, here's a question, have you ever had an experience with the sacred plants, the medicinal plants that actually bring a potent healing to your life? Here's a quote. The sacred feminine presence is the center of Mexico's religious life today. It's an anchor to all healing practices involving the use of sacred plants. Because we don't have money for doctors. Now listen very carefully. Because we don't have money for doctors, we heal ourselves with the mushrooms. Los Niños are not to become a drug. They are for healing purposes. These are the words of our Abuela Julieta Casimiro, who was born and raised and trained as a just beautiful soul, Huautla de Jimenez, Oaxaca, Mexico. She was Mazateco elder and Curandera and one of the original 13 indigenous grandmothers who are known around the world. So I went up by invitation from her daughter, the youngest one who was carrying her tradition after Abuela Julieta passed away. Her daughter, Doña Jasmin, she invited me to come and receive the medicine and experience the gifts of what she had. And because I received the invitation, plus I have a beautiful new student, new mentee, initiate, who wanted to experience it. So she flew in from the US and came down and we went up on a journey. There were 4 of us that went up together, and I'm going to share a little bit more. Here we go. For 2 days, September 1st and 2nd, I was with Abuela Julieta's daughter, Doña Jasmin, who now carries on, along with her sisters, the tradition of healing with Los Niños Santo, the holy children, the sacred mushrooms. On day 1, what an honor to be in her sacred ceremony and receive from her and Los Niños. Wolf showed up. So we climbed after arriving in Huautla de Jimenez. That's after a 6-hour drive. We parked, and then she led us up this mountain where her temple is. That was about an hour's hike up. And along the way, she was like anointing us and introducing us to the great mountain, which they call the chakra of the world. I asked her which chakra, and she said el ombligo, the belly button of the world. And each step she was either presenting us with the soil of the land, or we were offering cacao beans until we actually entered the temple. Very powerful. And her temple is this beautiful rustic structure, very warm and cozy. And inside, as you go inside, there's the altar. Very beautiful experience. And during my experience with Los Niños, this time around, wolf showed up. The last time it was the black jaguar. This time it was wolf. Wolf showed up on the back of my neck. And the face of the wolf showed up on the back of my neck. And so when that happens, I always ask, okay, what's the wolf telling me? What's wolf medicine? So what do you think the wolf medicine means for someone like me? Write that down. So here's day 2. Now, I could tell you a lot more about the ceremony itself, over the top, beautiful, well shared, safe. Everyone who I was with had a magnificent experience and pilgrimage, and lots of love came through, like filling with love. Another one of our participants and guests flew up way high, way past the eagles and higher. And of course, for me, wolf showed up. Day 2, what an honor to be in her home. So after the ceremony, the next day, and we went down the mountains to meet her in her home. What an honor to be in her home. El Centro Místico de Abuela Julieta, a very humble home, colorful, small. And I assume that that's where her grandmother, Abuela Julieta, that's where she did her work. That's where she lived. So that, I believe that's where we were. She shared, so Doña Jasmin shared intuitive insights. She was wrapping up the ceremony. She shared what she saw. She told us what it meant. For me personally, I received a lot of more medicines from her, more implements from her. She gave me a powerful smoke to be used only in ceremonies, which I have now. It's here on my altar. She said it's to be used only in ceremony, and it's, again, I don't know what the herbs are. It's not tobacco. It wasn't it's not marijuana. It's a powerful combination of sacred herbs that I'm to smoke just like that, just when I'm entering ceremony, presenting ceremony. She gave me a bottle of potent floral water, a formula created by the late Juan el Coyote, quien camina en el noche. She told me I also had this coyote shaman curandero who was saying that I had really good energy and I'm to be trusted. And so she gave me this floral. She said, again, it's very potent, only apply it when needed and very sparingly. It is the formula of Juan Coyote, quien camina en la noche. She also gifted me with a blend of hierbas de amargo, not to eat, but like a paste to place upon my body as needed. And this particular blend of herbs is created by a group of women from Huautla de Jimenez who are also curanderas, who are also hierberas. Their specialization is healing with the herbs. And so I was gifted that. These women, they make these herbs over hours and days with chants and prayers. Quite amazing. I was like, wow, I'm receiving so many gifts. And that particular paste and powder is to be used. She gave it to me for power, for protection, and to clear away any negative energies that have been directed towards me. Of course, nobody directs negative energies towards me. But it's, you wish that it wasn't true, because we're doing our work with purity of heart and innocence. And then there are these people that, they just want to hinder your work and they send you negative energy. This is real. That's why I'm very careful about who I'm with, what I'm sharing, what I'm doing, who gets close to me, because the energy that we're receiving, the gifts that we're receiving, the healing gifts that you're receiving are very sacred, pristine. And, there's times that people don't like that you're being blessed. Let me just leave it at that. She also told me that I'm preparing a way for others to come receive healing in these sacred circles with Los Niños. And so after she blessed me and the group that I brought, I in turn blessed her. I gave her gifts and I blessed her. And we completed our time together, sharing our personal experiences over a meal. We had a meal, and that I invited her to a meal, and we had a meal, and we shared wisdom, and then we shared plans for her future visit to my home in Oaxaca to look at land that I've been doing ceremony around for my temple. So she's going to come visit. And then there you have it. I said yes to the invitation to be in her sacred circle, way high up in the sacred mountains of Huautla de Jimenez. And after a 6-hour drive, going up windy roads, and all of this happened and more. And guess what? I forgot to mention this. While I was in her home, there was a gentleman, an elder, sweet, ancient gentleman that was just about to leave, and I was introduced to him. His name was Marcos. And I was introduced to him and invited to be in ceremony with him at a future date, because he works with a different medicine that I've never even heard of. He works with a different plant, and one that I've never heard of, no one's ever talked about. These are the sacred tools, sacred plants that are still sequenced. So I was invited to do that. So I just want to say this is Ayana Mojica. I have another part to this message. I like to keep my videos short, even though I've got a lot to share. Ayana Mojica, wisdom medicine woman, broadcasting from Oaxaca, Mexico. And I just bless you. I'll be sharing a lot more. I encourage you to like, subscribe, ask questions, keep watching, keep listening. Because even with my words, if you pay close attention, let the ears of your body open, let your heart open, let your DNA be available, because the words will come through, the medicine will come through and ignite you, heal, bring alignment, bring alignment and balance and openings and clarity. That's what's happening now. So please share, like, subscribe, ask questions, follow. I love you, my friends. I bless you, sending many, many, many benedictions from Oaxaca, Mexico. And if you are inspired or called to experience more, give me a call, reach out, send me a message. Let's see how I can guide you. It might just be a book. There's some way, some piece that's there for you. Besos. Ciao.